It was in that glittering ballroom at the Oak Ridge Country Club, surrounded by 80 pairs of eyes, that my world finally cracked open. I sat there, napkin folded neatly in my lap, watching my daughter, Emily, rise from the head table with a champagne flute in hand. She looked every bit the polished socialite she'd become, sleek black gown, diamonds glinting under the chandeliers, her smile radiating the kind of confidence that comes from old money. This was her and her husband Alex's one-year anniversary dinner, a lavish affair in the heart of suburban Chicago, where the elite rubbed elbows and toasted to legacies built on boardrooms and inheritances. I'd driven there in my beat-up Ford pickup, the one with 200,000 miles from years of hauling parts to auto shops across the county. I'd even splurged on a new tie, thinking maybe this night could bridge the growing chasm between us. But as Emily began her speech, her words sliced through the air like a knife through flesh, and I felt the first stir of a rage I'd buried for far too long. "Thank you all for being here," Emily started, her voice steady and warm, scanning the room with that practiced poise she'd picked up from her in-laws. The Harringtons. They were Chicago royalty, descendants of steel barons who'd turned their fortune into a real estate empire spanning the Midwest. Alex's grandfather had built skyscrapers downtown, and his father, Reginald Harrington, now chaired boards that decided the fate of entire neighborhoods. Emily had married into that world 2 years ago, and it had changed her, molded her into someone who spoke of elevating one's circle and curating success. As she continued, the tension in my chest tightened like a vice. A year ago, I didn't just marry the love of my life, I joined a family that showed me what true ambition looks like. The Harringtons have taught me about vision, about creating wealth that lasts generations, not just scraping by week to week. The room murmured approvals, glasses clinking softly. But then her gaze flickered toward me at table 8, tucked away in the corner like an afterthought. Growing up, I thought hard work meant long hours in a garage, fixing cars for a living. My dad did his best, he really did, but it was just survival. No strategy, no legacy. Being part of this family has opened my eyes to what real success is: owning empires. Not just working in them, influencing the world. Not just getting through the day. Whispers rippled through the crowd. I could feel eyes darting my way. Pitying. Judging. Emily pressed on, her tone sharpening. "I'm grateful for the opportunities he gave me, but I've learned that marrying up isn't a sin, it's recognizing your worth. I refuse to apologize for wanting more than a life of oil stains and overtime shifts. To the Harringtons, for showing me how to thrive, not just endure." Applause erupted, thunderous and approving. Reginald raised his glass first, his wife Eleanor beaming beside him. Emily basked in it, her face alight with vindication. But inside me, something snapped, not with a roar, but with the quiet click of a decision long overdue. For 28 years, I'd poured my soul into raising her after her mother, Sarah, lost her battle with leukemia when Emily was just 12. I'd been a single dad, a master mechanic who'd traded dreams for double shifts at the shop, ensuring Emily had the best private schools in the suburbs, tuition at Northwestern University for her business degree, even footing $90,000 for her fairy tale wedding at the Harrington estate. I'd sold my vintage Harley to cover her dorm fees, patched our leaky roof myself to fund her study abroad in Europe, all while she drifted further, embracing a world that saw me as beneath it. I didn't stand up right away. Instead, I pulled out my phone under the table and texted my lawyer. "Marcus Reed, urgent. Bring the portfolio docs to Oak Ridge CC now." Then, as the clapping faded, I rose slowly, my work boots scuffing the polished floor. The room hushed. Emily turned, her triumph fading to confusion. Dad, what did you think of the speech? Her voice wavered just a touch. I met her eyes, my voice calm but laced with the hurt she'd inflicted. It was honest. Emily. Very revealing. You've made it clear what you think of me, of the survival I gave you. Conversations around us stalled. Reginald leaned in. Curious. Alex shifted uncomfortably. You want to talk about legacies? I continued. Louder now. The anger simmering beneath my words like an engine about to overheat. About working smart instead of hard? Fine. I've asked my attorney to join us with some documents that might clarify things. Emily's face drained of color. Your attorney? Dad. What are you? Before she could finish, Marcus strode in, briefcase in hand. His suit a stark contrast to my faded button-down. He'd been my advisor for 15 years, handling the side of my life no one knew about. Jonathan, he greeted me, nodding to the room. I brought the files as requested. The whispers grew. I took the folder from him and held it up. This is my investment portfolio. Emily. 26 rental properties across Cook, DuPage, and Lake counties. Acquired over 3 decades. Starting with a fixer-upper in '95 that I bought cash after saving from shop overtime. Current value, $9.2 million. Annual net income after expenses, $410,000. Gasps echoed. Emily staggered back a step. That's impossible. You're a mechanic. You live in that old bungalow. Exactly, I cut in. The bitterness rising. I could have flashed it all, bought a mansion in Winnetka. Driven a Tesla. But why? Your mom and I paid off our home in 15 years. My truck gets me where I need. Every dollar went back into building something real. Not showy. Marcus flipped open the summary page for her. Properties 1 through 7 funded your private education at Lakeside Academy. 8 through 14 covered Northwestern, $45,000 a year. Out of pocket. The wedding? That came from 15 to 18. Reginald had risen, peering over. May I? He scanned the pages, his eyebrows arching. This is solid conservative buys. Steady appreciation. Who handles management? A firm in Evanston, I replied. But I oversee it all. Turns out fixing engines teaches you about systems. About spotting flaws before they blow up. The room buzzed with shock. Eleanor looked faint. Alex muttered. 9 million? That's more than our trusts combined. Emily's hands trembled as she clutched the folder. Why hide this? If I'd known, you'd have what? Respected me more. I shot back, the pain flooding out. That's the point. Your love. Your pride in me, it was never about who I am. It was about what you assumed I lacked. You spent years pulling away, introducing me as just a mechanic at your fancy galas, whispering, don't embarrass me during our father-daughter dance at your wedding. Tears welled in her eyes. But I pressed on, the betrayal fueling every word. I overheard you at the Harringtons' 4th of July barbecue last year, telling friends I couldn't make it. Then calling me the handyman when they spotted me. You laughed off my offer to help with your garage remodel. Said it was too important for someone like me. The applause from her speech felt like a distant mockery now. Reginald cleared his throat. Jonathan. This is impressive. We could discuss partnerships. Your eye for value aligns with our developments. I nodded politely, but turned back to Emily. This was all for you, kid. The plan was a gradual transfer over the next decade, setting you up forever. But after tonight? After you stood here and declared my life settling for less. Marcus pulled out another document. These are the estate amendments. Effective immediately. The portfolio funds the Sarah Hale Foundation for single-parent support, scholarships, emergency aid. You get nothing. Emily gasped, collapsing into a chair. Dad. No. I didn't mean I was wrong. The room fell silent. the weight of her words crashing back on her. Alex hovered. Helpless. There must be a way to fix this. But I shook my head. Actions have consequences. Son. She chose to burn this bridge publicly. Now she lives with the ashes. I handed the signed papers to Marcus and walked out, the door clicking shut behind me like the end of an era. The drive home was a blur of headlights and heartache, the silence in my truck heavier than any speech. The call started before I hit the highway, Emily first. Sobbing voicemails I deleted unheard. Then Alex, pleading for a meeting. Even Reginald, surprisingly apologetic, offering business ties. I ignored them all. By morning, they showed up at my door. Emily's eyes red-rimmed. Alex fidgeting like a kid caught in a lie. Dad, please, she begged from the porch. I didn't know about the properties. If I had treated me like I mattered. I finished, arms crossed. That's why it hurts so damn much. Your respect was always conditional. She crumpled. I'm sorry. It was the pressure. The new life. But I was wrong. We can rebuild. I shut the door gently but firmly. Some breaks don't mend. Emily, you taught me that. Word spread like wildfire through Chicago's social circuits, the daughter who'd trashed her blue-collar dad, only to lose a fortune. Emily quit her marketing gig at the downtown firm. Whispers said, retreating from the humiliation. Friends distanced themselves, even the Harringtons cooled. Reginald confiding in a call to me that she needs to learn humility the hard way. I took his partnership offer, consulting on their projects. My quiet empire now earning the respect it deserved. But the victory tasted bitter, laced with the loss of my only child. 6 months on, Emily tried once more, pulling up in a used sedan, dressed down, no makeup hiding her weariness. I've been in therapy, Dad, facing how I let arrogance poison me. I wrote this, a public apology for the paper, owning every mistake. I read it, the raw honesty stirring old wounds. It's good you're healing, I said, handing it back. But forgiveness doesn't erase the scar. You chose betrayal over blood. Live with it. She nodded, tears streaming, and drove off into the rain. The foundation launched soon after. Its first grant going to a widowed plumber putting his kids through trade school. In the end, revenge wasn't about the money, it was the price of her choices. A silent echo of the love she'd thrown away. And me? I fixed cars by day, built futures by night, knowing some legacies are forged in quiet strength, unbreakable even when the world tries to shatter them.